Now, this is like the 10th time trying to write my opening, or read my opening. The big thing is, I wanted to try something new. If you like Helldivers 2 and Elden Ring, I got a bunch of videos on my channel, go check that out. Otherwise, if you want to see some more challenge run ideas, I have some Last of Us Part 2 challenge runs. Did a melee only, a crafting only, and I haven't really done anything with the guns, because a lot of times with that game, you get random ammo, but you don't really get it for the specific weapon you want. So it all devolves into a melee run until you get some more pistol rounds, so I think I'll probably skip on those for now. Well, the biggest thing I wanted to try in Doom the Dark Ages is use no guns. I'm not going to say shield only, because there is two weapons I use. The crossbow, the BFC, the big fucking crossbow, or big freaking crossbow, sorry, I gotta be Disney. And we also use the chain shot. The chain shot, I don't think it's a gun, it's a weapon, and it throws a cannonball, and it brings it back on a chain. So I'm gonna use that mostly for counter attacks after I do a parry, because it gets powered up and does a lot of damage later on in the game. So that's there, and I also use the BFC because there's a couple of sections of the game. There's pretty much 2 sections where it was like 10 boss fights in a row in one instance, and if you lost in one, you had to restart the thing. And I was just getting so frustrated, so I nuked the guys there. Again, it's not a gun, so I don't care. And other than that, I had a lot of fun with the game. Overall, it's not the perfect game, and I don't think the shield and the game structure is really like ruined by all these new mechanics. They do turn it into a bullet hell and gets really frustrating at times, but it's also rewarding at times. So if that's your case and you hate bullet hells, you might want to just wait and pick this game up when it's on sale. My first section here, I'm using a gun. I'd shield bash this guy 13 times. Level 1, you get a shield rush attack. I did him 13 times. I knew something was wrong. I'm 90% sure it was scripted and you had to shoot him to put him in that stagger effect, and then you could beat him with a shield. So overall, whatever. Level 1 was probably the most challenging because you don't have any skills or any weapons you can use besides the shield charge. These guys take 3 shield charges at a time, and about halfway through the level, you get the melee attacks. You can punch them, kick them, whatever. It's a fresh game, so it's not like I'm starting up to be overpowered. And there's also one thing I noticed too is when you jump up super high off a ledge and you land on the ground, you have this really big AoE attack. It's like a 20 foot circle around you that has AoE attack. Level 1, it's really paramount. You have to use that for certain bosses. And honestly, this Pinky boss, he's actually the hardest I've probably the whole game. Just because of your lack of abilities. You have to shield bash, you have to block almost instantly, and then you gotta save up your punches. But beyond that, it's not too bad. It's just you have the lack of abilities and skills. Everywhere else, about halfway through the level, you also get the nice little shield parry attack. So anything green, you can parry back at them, do some damage that way, stun them, set them up for staggers, do whatever. This section towards the end, right before the game is it's a failed run because you have to use turrets and you have to use mech machine guns, so I don't care. This is just a fun challenge run. It's not like, oh, you gotta do this by the book, blah, 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 blah. I'm not doing world record kind of shit where anyone cares. Here, I noticed I just did not have the damage output that I needed. So there's these little ramps throughout the level. Jump off those and you can do so much fucking damage, and you just nuke all the enemies around you. It's still disgusting how much damage that AoE stomp attack does just from jumping. Here's the first thing, we failed the run. Level 1, failed the run, gotta shoot this giant demon. It's pretty fucking metal though, with a minigun turret with a charged up las cannon attack. Whatever it is, thunderbolt, crossbolt. And level 2 here, beginning, first thing you pick up is this chainsaw attachment. Now I can throw my shield. You can throw your shield into the enemies, so you can stun them, keep them stunned, so you can, in a normal game, you'd sit there, blast them, or you can stun them and then start pummeling the shit out of them. Level 2 goes pretty much exactly as you think it would go, very easily. This section here is probably the most difficult because it's like the final boss. You just have to kill these Hell Knights, parry their attacks, punch them, kind of stagger them. You can even just stun lock them by throwing the shield repeatedly at enemies. There's certain enemies in the game. This guy has a blue charge above his head. I think that's extra health. Yellow is extra ammo for a specific kind of gun. It's like, I think it's like projectile launcher and rockets or some shit. Bone, whatever. It's weird how they set up the ammo. So you got 3 different ammo things, and you also have armor abilities. These guys, you can't stun them. They're unstunnable, and they typically are like a boss. The biggest issue, what I said I kind of got sick of with this game, is their repeats. The repeat bosses. You'll have Hell Knights, and then you'll have Hell Knights with armor, and then you'll have some other Hell Knight wannabe looking guys. You have the Pinky Riders with armors, the fat guys with miniguns, and you got the fat guy with miniguns and super charge attacks. And I noticed throughout the game, instead of giving me like a unique boss fight for every level, it was just kind of a hodgepodge of the same enemies, just in different groupings. Sometimes you couldn't stun them, sometimes you could. And it's honestly, it's not bad. Like, I don't think it ruined the game, but I think if every level had a unique kind of boss, it would be so much more fun. And everything, it kind of has the same crescendo. Each level has the same crescendo as the old Call of Duty games, where you start the level relatively smoothly, and then as the level goes on, middle of the level is just all jacked up, and then the end of the level is this huge fist fight, brawl, dirty brawl, and then it kind of tones it down for the last part. So it kind of had that, like every level felt like it was in a series of steps, and it would just slowly build up, and it just, all the levels kind of just felt the same. They were different setups, and it's not, and, you know, and they are different hiding spots, and I'm not saying they're not unique. It's just the way the levels are set up with the enemy wise, it just felt like it was kind of doing the same thing over and over. Here, to beat the what was that we call the boredom? Not even boredom, but change it up a little bit, you get a super mech. Start off being the shit out of everyone, then you get a minigun, and then second part, you lose the minigun, and you gotta fight these armored up demons. If you dodge the attack, you get a supercharged attack. You get enough punches, you get a supercharged attack. If you get hit, you lose that charge and got started over. So for these armor guys, you have to boss off the armor, and then you gotta kill them. Just like everything else in the game, you gotta boss off the armor, and then you can kill them easily. This section here, biggest thing I learned is there's these explosive barrels everywhere. I did not use them, and I fought 6 Hell Knights by myself. So if you just throw the shield back, boom, red barrel kills everything. If it doesn't kill it, it severely wounds them. This section was probably the first real trial. It was just so many guys. It's a new boss, the arachno spider guy. You have all these fatties, I like to call them. I just shield bash them until they get stunned, and I run around. You gotta just keep moving. The biggest thing, you have to keep moving. The second I would stop and focus on one enemy, 6 enemies would get a pot shot. And even the low demons do a shitload of damage, and the health you get back and the armor you get back, it's not a lot. Like, they take away half your health and you get like maybe a quarter back for each pickup. So you pretty much gotta do the whole level flawlessly, or you're gonna get the shit kicked out of you. Here we got the arachno spider. This guy's got armor, got boss off his armor off his chest, then you can do some damage to him, blah blah blah, he dissolves and dies. Pinky, or Fatty here, I blew his arms off by hitting him with the barrel. So even if the barrel doesn't kill some of these demons, it disables them. And sometimes a disabled demon is just as bad as a defeated demon. Here's the first Hell Knight with the super armor, and he's got an axe. The axe has AoE attack, just like the normal ones, and it also has a long range, he can throw it at you. Other than that, he's the same exact Hell Knight fight as you'll ever see in every match. Rinse and repeat. Later on, you get a ability for a mace, and you can smash the armor off, makes him super easy. Here's the first real boss of the game, some Argent Champion. He's kind of rough, but again, you fight him 3 different variations, a stunnable kind, a non-stunnable kind, and that's about it. Like, that's pretty much the same thing. You just parry his attacks, blast them through, and then do the counter attacks. If you get too far away from him, you can't even hurt him because he puts the shield up, and then he does these huge AoE attacks that home in on you, and they do a shitload of damage. If they don't kill it outright, you're gonna be damn near dead. The big thing is, get close, get personal, and then stay up in his shit. Here we are, fighting the same guy again. But again, it's different setups, different bosses, and each one's got its own little problem and how you defeat them. Here I'm using the chain shot, and I got the mace. So the mace, later on, you get armor every time you hit an enemy, and the chain shot also does a shitload of counter damage. So when it's glowing green, it's fully charged and does a whole lot of damage. And right here, you see the mace, I'm getting a shitload of armor back. So overall, depending on how you play the game, I find the mace does not do as much damage as the fist do. The fist do straight up the most damage. You will kill most of the big enemies in one volley of fist once you break down their shields. The mace, I could break them down 6, 7 times, 10 times, and they won't do as much damage, but I get armor back. So it's kind of like, it gives you the opportunity to kind of face tank and trade hits, because you can always get your armor back slowly over time. You're not getting health back, but you're at least getting your armor back. Here's we get our first rune, the rune off the shield. So we do parry back some long range attacks. You can do like I think it's a shockwave at first, and it does more and more damage, and it does a wider and wider arc. There you saw we got an upgrade, no big deal. And here we gotta defeat the boss, but the boss is hidden behind an impenetrable shield, and you have to defeat his minions and defeat their morale, I guess. Keep killing them until it says the shield's down, and then go in there and mess the boss up. It's pretty simple. One complaint about the game, I wanted checkpoints in the fight. When you break the morale, that should be a checkpoint. Like, I don't want to have to sit there and break the morale just because I screw something up. The biggest thing too is you get to be extremely precise in this game. You need to charge attack, and you need to parry, and you need to balance your melee attacks. I've noticed a lot of times I'll do a parry and then do a counter hit, but it would miss the parry and do that hit, or it would queue up the attack where I would parry and then I'd step away, but then it would carry into the melee attack, and I'll take so much damage because of that. I got killed by it so many times because you'll kind of warp like 10 feet in front of you, and then you'll get hit by some green attack or some random projectile, and it just ends your run so many times. So you really need to not button mash, because the game hates it when you button mash, and you gotta really be cognizant of what you need to do and how you need to do it. This is the first little puzzle area. We're in hell. We died. Don't know how. I skipped a lot of the cinematics because I was on a really big time crunch. I only had this game on Game Pass, so I skipped it. So this is kind of like a spoiler-free-ish. There's a little bit of spoilers at the end of the game, so once we defeat the final boss, and if you don't want to see it, don't watch the last 5 minutes. That's where all the final bosses are. So I think everyone knows the storyline behind this game, but there are spoilers later on in the game. I'm sorry, I did my best to kind of take it away. This section of the blue skull was the most frustrating. You had this boss, then you have an Ardent Champion, then you have like, I think it was like 2 Hell Knights, and then you got a Pinky Knight, then you had all these other fodder guys going on, and then you also had those 2 brains with the guns. Those brain gun guys will just randomly snipe you and kill you. So I said, fuck this game. I used the BFC, did some damage. I lost it. I think I was stuck on this section for 2 hours. 2 hours of pain and suffering on my end. Not the demon's end, my end. First real boss of the game, halfway through it, is the Maker, or whatever the hell his name is. The Creed Maker. Nothing too much to write home about. He's the fat fuck from the beginning of the game who's keeping you imprisoned. Really karmatic justice. The big thing with this guy is he can't melee attack you at all, and he has a shield of attacks where he can parry. So he has, the first step has 1 little circle, and then he has 3 circles later on in phase 2. Avoid the yellow balls because they just kind of home on you, but they're not like too bad. It's kind of like your plasma rifle. He's got a shield where when the blue shield's up, you can't do any damage to him, so you just gotta sit tight. I think a plasma weapon could probably defeat his shield, but there's so much going on at the screen. Kind of counterattacking is counterintuitive. You're just better off just waiting. You got the yellow shark attack, whatever, just dodge them. Don't try and block them. Block them if you have to. And he's got his little buddies. Kill his little buddies. Kill the yellow thing. I don't know what it is. That's like a sentinel turret. And then he gets some health back and some armor back. So just more or less avoid him until his shield comes down. Parry back the green shit. And as you see, I'm using this dagger attack. It does so much damage. Phase 2 or 3, depending on how you look at it. I don't know. I think it's just phase 2. It's his stupid... He has the yellow walls that box you in. Then he has 3 sections where his yellow rings shoot out those balls again from 3 of them, and then it's just constant. This is bullet hell boss. I hate bullet hells, but I do like how the boss is different, and it's an actual boss. It's not like these, oh, here's the same enemy you fought 6 times, but he's unstunnable, so here's your boss fight. Obviously, we win, and we're using the Dread Mace. Oh my god, I hate the Dread Mace, but I love it at the same time. It does so much damage. Now, we have the King's Mech. When we got to Hell, we got eaten by this guy, so we're just kind of on Cthulhu. We're taking time back to him. Could I not use his super special attack? I could have, but I'm not going to, because I'd rather just kick the shit out of him and have a lot of fun with it. Same thing with every other mech fight. Dodge his green attacks. You charge up your attack, and it does so much damage. Punch him, kick him. He's got this Cthulhu tentacle ooh beam. Just avoid it at all costs. It will knock your ass down so hard. Doomslayer's wife asked him to take the lid off the jar, and there we go. Pop the jar right off. Kick him for a good measure, because who needs to respect your enemies? We sure as fuck don't. Alright, so this is the first of the 3 boss fights of Ozrock. He's Ozrock. No, sorry, he's the enhanced Ozrock. I was gonna say Ozrock the enhanced. No male enhancement here, buddy boy. Big thing here, he has little red guys he shoots at you. Shoot them and get some health back. He has got a little, oh, right there. He's got green attacks. Parry them, or dodge them if you can, but I'm using a shield, so I'm gonna parry the fuck out of him. And then he's got some Dragon Spire tentacle things that pop out of the ground. I don't know what they do. They hurt you and you randomly walk into them, and that's what all they do. Destroy them and get free health and free armor. Here he is, he's just flexing on us. Son of a bitch, and he rearranges our guts. Nothing to say here, this is a pretty fun cutscene. No, our beloved Fluffy has died. Don't know what to say. He, 2 inches, that doesn't kill us, but it kills the dragon. Dragon just wasn't made to live for, I guess. We get a revenge, smash the shit out of him with the Dread Mace, show him who's boss. 5 minutes later, 10 seconds later, we're fighting him again with a witch. There's a couple of levels in between that last fight and this fight. Really nothing major went on. I barely remember playing them, honestly. Here, the big thing is we gotta take out the witch first. She puts a shield on him. She also is like all those other witches that has those purple AoE attacks and just constantly is hitting you. So annoying, and it's so satisfying when we take care of her. I don't need her. You kill me and lose all the magic and stuff. Doomslayer doesn't care about your hell incantations, alright? The only thing we care is taking that head and removing it from those shoulders. Kind of like what you did to our dragon and what we did to your Cthulhu pet. So I guess technically it was just karma because we killed his pet and he killed ours, so whatever. Either way, we're gonna get revenge for our sweet poor dragon who's got us through multiple levels, multiple chests by gunning down hell ships, and we hit him in the spine with the Dread Mace, man. Delicious, love it. And with that, we're wrapping up the run. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing. If you like what you saw and like what you see, come back for more. Other than that, Ozrock here is going to give us a little scream, and we're going to give him a little gift back while hell turns their back on their demon prince. Apparently there's no loyalty if you have no strength, which I accept that, which I don't care. They're demons. We're going to kill them all regardless. We'll find them. They're going to be hiding in holes. We know where hell is. We steal their power, so we're gonna go back and we're gonna finish them off. Anyway, the next run I'll be working on is God of War, Fist only, and we're also gonna be playing some Helldivers 2 on streams, and then probably a horror game or 2, depending on when I can stream. Take it easy, and I'll see you around for the next one. While we kind of beating the point that our dragon is our best friend.